Hey, what's up guys? It's Primrose, and really quick before we hop into today's video, I do want to give a quick thank you to EA for sponsoring this video. Now, with Super Bowl 57 coming up this upcoming Sunday, I wanted to hop into the Madden 23 simulation game mode to try to see if we can accurately predict the outcome of the game. The Chiefs and the Eagles are both at a 16-3 record, and they both had an incredible season this year. In order to get to the Super Bowl, the Chiefs had to beat the Jaguars as well as the Bengals, and the Eagles had to beat the Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. Both teams played great in the playoffs leading up to the Super Bowl, with the Eagles beating the Niners 31-7 and the Chiefs beating the Bengals 23-20. I really do think that both of these teams have a really good chance of winning the Super Bowl, and I could tell you who I think is going to win, but it might be more fun if we let Madden decide. Hopping into the game, the Eagles came out on top of the first quarter with a 7-10 lead over the Chiefs. Starting off strong at the very beginning of the game, Jake Elliott was able to kick a 35-yard field goal to put 3 on the board. Following this, in the first quarter, Mahomes was able to make a great pass to Juju for a 6-yard touchdown. Rounding out the first quarter with probably the craziest play I have seen in a simulation is the Gardner Minshew fake field goal pass to Calcaterra for a 33-yard touchdown. This fake field goal was enough to give the Eagles the lead that they needed over the Chiefs. Moving on into the second quarter, Michael Burton was able to score the first touchdown of this quarter for the Chiefs with a 2-yard rush into the end zone. Following this, Jalen Hurts was able to throw a 15-yard touchdown pass to Michael Sanders. Mahomes was able to have an awesome drive, putting the Chiefs on the 1-yard line and handing the ball off to McKinnon for a rush into the end zone. Rounding out the first half, Jake Elliott was able to kick a 38-yard field goal, putting points on the board for the Eagles, rounding out the first half with a score of 21 for the Chiefs and 20 for the Eagles. Moving on into the third quarter, Butker was able to kick a 20-yard field goal, giving the Chiefs those extra 3 points. Jumping into the fourth quarter and continuing with the Chiefs' lead, McKinnon was able to have an 11-yard rush into the end zone. The Eagles were able to maintain their momentum, first with an 8-yard rush into the end zone by Jalen Hurts, followed by a 31-yard touchdown by Watkins for a final score of 41-38. With 11 seconds left in the game, Mahomes was able to move the Chiefs all the way up to the Eagles' 38, giving Butker a 55-yard field goal opportunity. Unfortunately, Butker wasn't able to make this field goal, leaving the final score of the game 41-38. This was an incredibly close simulation game, and it's even crazier if you look at the individual statistics of the players. Taking a look at Mahomes' stats during this game, he had 38 completions with 46 total passing attempts, with a completion percentage of 82.8. Now, if you compare that to Mahomes' 2022 season statistics, he had 26 average completions per game, 38 average passing attempts per game, with an average completion percentage of 67.1% in the regular season and 69.9% in the postseason. Taking a look at passing yards, Mahomes had 404 passing yards this game, with 304 average passing yards in the 2022 season. If we look at Mahomes' individual statistics during the 2022 season, the only other game where his stats come close to the Madden simulation was in Week 15 versus the Houston Texans. In Week 15, Mahomes was able to have 36 completions, 41 passing attempts, and a completion percentage of 87.8%. Some other statistics are during this game, he had 336 passing yards versus in the simulation, he had 404. He had 2 passing touchdowns in both the simulation and Week 15. He had 0 interceptions in both games. His average yards per attempt were 8.2 average yards in Week 15 versus the Texans versus 8.7 average yards in the Madden simulation. And his longest pass was 52 yards in Week 15 versus 36 yards in the Madden simulation. I actually think that it's super interesting that the Madden simulation actually raised Mahomes' statistics, and he actually was able to perform better than he does in real life. We'll see if this also translates over to the Super Bowl on Sunday. But now let's take a look at some more statistics. During the 2022 season, Jalen Hurts had an average of 18 completions per game, 27 average attempts per game, and a completion percentage of 66.5% in the regular season with 63.3% in the postseason. Compare this to the Madden simulation. Jalen Hurts had 29 completions, 37 attempts, and a completion percentage of 78%. The only other time that Jalen Hurts actually had these statistics was yet again in Week 9 versus the Texans. In Week 9 versus the Texans, Jalen Hurts had 21 total completions, 27 attempts, and a completion percentage of 77.8%. Some other statistics include 243 passing yards in Week 9 versus 287 passing yards in the Madden simulation, 2 passing touchdowns in both games, 0 interceptions in Week 9 and 1 interception in the Madden simulation, an average of 9 yards per attempt in Week 9 and 7.7 yards per attempt in the Madden simulation, and his longest pass of 31 yards in Week 9 and 45 yards in the Madden simulation. Once again, these stats kind of align with Mahomes' stats, where his stats in the Madden simulation game were a little bit higher than his in-person statistics. And so we'll see how well they actually translate over and how accurate they are. One thing that I do actually want to point out, because Gardner Minshew was able to do that fake field goal, we do have some statistics for him, such as 1 completion, 1 attempt, 100% completion rate, an average pass of 33 yards, a longest pass of 33 yards, and 1 passing touchdown. This same theme with these statistics held true throughout all of the players, whether they were receivers, fullbacks, running backs, etc., whatever it may be. Their statistics were higher than majority of their in real life games. Make sure you guys go ahead and check out the Madden 23 official Super Bowl simulation. The link is going to be down in the description below, as well as let me know who you guys have at winning the Super Bowl. Will it be the Eagles, like the Madden simulation accurately predicted, or will it be the Chiefs? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.